Beefy looked like an amateur in the damn sparring session, bruh. So many mistakes I'm pointing out while I'm watching the sparring session. Okay? Let alone him looking like an amateur in his fucking professional fights. Yes, he looks good against C and D and F level fighters, B. But given his style does not transfer. There's guys that you can look at and say, yeah, that guy, if he fights an A-level fighter, he could probably do that against an A-level fighter. You can make a conclusion. You can come up with a well-educated analysis of a guy's style and say, yo, he might be able to do that against an A-level fighter. But at the same time, you can come up with a well-educated analysis of a fighter style and say, yo, he will not be able to do that against an A-level fighter. What's good, YouTube? It's your boy 2K the God, my man Sess. Welcome to the Gods of Boxing Talk. Now, for this segment, we're going to do something a little different. You know, we're a little behind on some fight breakdowns. We had a couple cats, hit us up on the channel, a couple of subscribers. They was like, yo, when you going to come out with the breakdown, B? They was scratching their necks and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So my bad, we're a little late, but we're going to get it in. It don't matter when it gets done as long as it gets done. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So for the first one, I want to go ahead and pass my man Sess the stage. And we had a fight between the little guys, undefeated Shinsuki Yamanaka versus the dude that I used to hold high praise, B.
Yeah.
Anselmo Moreno. I thought Moreno was going to be the motherfucking dude. Yeah. After he embarrassed the shit out of Vic Darchinyan the way he did, man. I thought he was going to be the dude, man. And then I think it was in 2012, Alavarez came around and fucked it all up for me, B. Fucked it all, just beat my dude's ass. You know what I'm saying? Beat the shit out my boy. Yo, I was in the streets like, yo, the kid Moreno, B. Yo, y'all not fucking with him, B. Hey, Mayweather, nigga. Mayweather.
Oh, shit, damn.
And Mares came through and spanked that ass. And an excellent victory. So ever since, word up, B. Ever since then, my boy Moreno, man, he's been kind of sliding and shit, He had a fight. This is a rematch, by the way. He fought Shinsuki Yamanaka before. And I felt it was a robbery. A lot of people felt it was a robbery. Yamanaka edged out a split decision in that fight. And I had Moreno winning that fight 8 rounds to 4. So that's how much of a robbery that I thought it was. Yeah. But the rematch that just went down this past weekend, bro.
Yeah, man.
A little bit different. My man Moreno again, man. I was back on memory lane, man. Watching my man, get up off the canvas 4 fucking times, B.
Yep.
Man, he got knocked down 4 times. He caught Yamanaka in the 4th, and I was like, oh shit, he's back. But then, inevitably, it is what it is.
Yeah, man.
Break it down, B.
Yo, first off, this was first off, man, it was an excellent fight. Yeah, very, very, very good fight. For all the viewers out there, the fight is on YouTube.
Yes.
Just go find it and watch it, and believe me, it's probably if it's a good runner-up for fight of the year. I know a lot of people will probably talk about Keith Thurman and Sean Porter as kind of having that right now, but it was a great fight. 5 knockdowns total. Both of these guys came to get it. But at the end of the day, Moreno succumbed to Yamanaka. Yeah. But what I seen, man, was first of all, Moreno's strategy wasn't bad. It wasn't horrible. He actually started off the fight very good in the first round, and I believe he rocked Yamanaka in the first round. He hit him with like a 3 or 4 punch combination, and he rocked him, but Yamanaka was very focused, very poised. He never panicked at any time of the fight, even when he got knocked down. Picked himself back up, and he was good. It was back to work. The one thing that I will say about Moreno, I don't think he wasn't moving enough. He wasn't moving after he finished his combinations.
Right.
And there was no movement at the end of any of his punches. He would I noticed one of the punches that he kept trying to land. I mean, he tried for it a few times, and he was successful for it because it's the punch that ultimately knocked Yamanaka down. It was a check right hook.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
But he kept on going for it. He kept going for it. Every time he finished with his left hand, he would come back with the right hook. And I believe Yamanaka was a bit better at either punching with Moreno or counter punching him. And he kept popping. Moreno every time. To me, the biggest disparity between these two guys ultimately was the power. I don't think Moreno had enough power to really, really, really bother Yamanaka after he knocked him down. Whereas Yamanaka really couldn't, I mean, he couldn't do no wrong when he actually let his hands go and when he punched. You know, Moreno couldn't stay on his feet, and that's evident in the 4 knockdowns. Neither guy had just great head movement or great defense.
Yeah.
You know, it was one of those fights where both guys were pretty wound up, and it was who's going to be quicker on the trigger. And like I said, I don't think Yamanaka was as quick, but he had better firepower, fam.
Yeah.
You know, he was in this fight, he was shooting with a shotgun, and my man Moreno was, had like a little 22.
Yeah. I was gonna say slingshot.
Just but great fight. Now, like I said, there's not too much that I can really. There's not too much negative that I can say about either of these guys. Right. They did a great job. And like I said, I didn't have a problem with Moreno's game plan.
Right.
I just felt like if you're devoid of just real punching power, that type of power that can kind of get your respect, got to let your hands go a little bit more. You got to move a little bit more.
Yeah.
Or there's 2 ways you can go about it depending on what kind of fighter you are. Or you can try to stay on top of the guy, try to smother his shots, grab him, hold him when you need to. Mm-hmm. There were just certain things that he wasn't doing. Like I said, after he finished his combinations, he was standing there. He was right in front of Yamanaka to be countered or to be punched with whenever he let go of his combinations. Another thing that I seen him doing was, like I said, really no head movement. Really no head movement. He wasn't grabbing. He wasn't doing any of these things.
And he's not like that all the time.
Yeah.
That's one of my criticisms of Anselmo Moreno, man. Like he moves. He tries to. He'll stand there with a wide stance right in front of you, and he'll move his upper body. That's how he dodges your punches like this. But it was there's no leg movement. Nigga, you standing in one spot doing this shit.
There you go. Yep. Yeah. You're still standing in one spot. Yep. So that was his cardinal sin in this fight. It was the fact, just like you just pointed out, he would move his upper body, but he would not move his feet. Oh. And when you do that, a guy is gonna either come down, he's gonna predict where your head's gonna be, or he's going to counter. It's going to make it much easier for him to implement the counters that he wants to implement. So, great fight though. Great fight. I like I said, I can't really shit on this fight.
Yeah.
But it was a great fight. 5 knockdowns total. Awesome fight. Much respect to both fighters. They both came in there to get it, man. And unfortunately, Moreno came up a little short.
Yep. By the way, Anselmo Moreno, just to prove your point a little bit better, about him not having any punching power. He has a 29% KO rate. My man is 36 wins with 12 knockouts. And that's always been the problem besides him just standing there. I mean, he's very technical. He implements the shoulder roll. He can slip your shit. He's a good counter puncher. But the problem with Moreno was he doesn't move much. He kind of stays in front of you, like you said, and he doesn't have enough pop to stay in front of you. Like Floyd, he can do that. Floyd will move around the ring, and against Canelo, because motherfuckers like to say Floyd runs, against Canelo, who was probably one of the biggest motherfuckers he's ever fought. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
He stayed right in front of Canelo numerous times in that fight.
Oh, yeah.
He kept the fight in the middle of the ring. It was the snap on his punches. That's why when cats say Floyd Mayweather has no power, you sound stupid as fuck. Yeah, he's not knocking niggas the fuck out through the ropes and shit like what Oleg Moskaev did to Hasim Rahman twice. You know what I'm saying? He's not doing that shit. But he has enough power and snap on his punches to keep you fucking honest. Yeah. Anselmo Moreno doesn't have that. That's why Alavarez beat him the way he did. That's why Shinsuki Yamanaka was able to come up big last Friday, man. So, congratulations to Yamanaka, man. He is the WBC 118-pound champion. And if you look at the pound-for-pound ratings, he is now the #1 guy at that division. Congratulations, man. Next! The next breakdown, I'm going to go ahead and take this one. And then on top of that, I'm going to go ahead and take full credit, you know what I'm saying, for my prediction. I had Mr. Oleksandr Usyk becoming the new WBO Cruiserweight champion. You know what I'm saying? And then he did it in fairly easy fucking fashion. Now, one thing I did say that did not happen, I said this fight was going to be a war. It was absolutely not a war. Absolutely not. This was the cruiserweight version of Vasyl Lomachenko, and I'm not saying they fight exactly the same. What I'm saying is how my man went into a title fight in under 10 fights and dominated the champion. Okay, and he did it based on his amateur pedigree. He didn't do it based on his career experience or his professional experience, because he didn't fucking fight nobody in his professional career. He did it based off his amateur pedigree, and that's exactly how Vasyl Lomachenko became the champion when he did. Now, with him winning this belt, he gets on a short list of active fighters who have become world champions in under 10 fites. That includes the likes of, as I just mentioned, Vasyl Lomachenko, Naoya Inoue, who is a 2-time champion in under 10 fights. Guillermo Rigondeaux beat Rico Ramos in under 10 fights, became the WBA 122-pound champion. You got a guy that a lot of people don't really know about, Bibut Shumenov. Bibut Shumenov became the 175 WBA light heavyweight champion when he beat Gabriel Campillo. This is when Gabriel Campillo was a somebody. He's not the fucking punching bag he is today. But Bibut Shumenov beat him, became the WBA 175-pound champion in under 10 fights. So all of these guys, what they had in common is they had excellent amateur pedigree. And Oleksandr Usyk, he just goes on that list. Now, what I've seen in this fight, excellent movement. I didn't even see Usyk moving like this, bro, in his other fights. Like, my man moved. He used the entire ring. My man Bo, shout out to my man Bo, he said Usyk moves like a Lennox Lewis. He moved way better than Lennox Lewis in this fight. Damn. He moved way better. But I know where Bo was going. He was basically saying he had movement. Bo was correct and then more. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. His movement was the key. Now, I said in the prediction video, Glowacki, he has absolutely no movement. He moves backwards, he moves forwards. He moves backwards, he moves forwards. His stance is extremely wide. He looks to counterpunch you. He may paw with the jab, but he's really looking to hit you with something with his overhand left. That's his big money punch. In this fight, he was forced to move and chase Oleksandr Usyk, and he has no movement. So it was like a slow plodding motherfucker coming after a guy that's like, here I am, I'm here, I'm not, throwing combinations, circling, throwing combinations. He'll back up, taunt him a little bit, circle, throw combinations again, provide angles, throw combinations again. I mean, it was ridiculous. I gave Glowacki 2 rounds, B. 2 rounds.
Damn.
And this was the guy who ended Marco Huck's reign. Marco Huck had multiple title defenses of the WBO Cruiserweight title, man. He was going for a fucking record. And Glowacki went in there in a hard-fought fight where one that he was dropped in, he went in there and knocked him the fuck out. Then he went on to defend his title against Steve Cunningham, and I think against somebody else as well. In that Steve Cunningham fight, he knocked him down, 4 times? Yeah. 2 of those knockdowns is with a fucking jab. You know what I'm saying? So Glowacki was that nigga. You know what I'm saying? Now, on the pound-for-pound list, he was only number 5. The true guy, based on the pound-for-pound list, is Gregory Drizoid. I can't pronounce his name, but it is what it is. Gregory Drizoid, right? He's been a champion in recess, and he's coming back in the near future with his fight coming up. But Glowacki was a very well respected champion. And this guy who only had 9 wins with 9 knockouts went in there and dominated just based on his amateur pedigree. Excellent fight. I had to fight 118, 110. Big ups to it was a slaughter, B. Big ups to Oleksandr Usyk. There's a lot of guys in that division. You got, like I said, Gregory Drizoid, whatever. You got Denis Lebedev, who was a bit old on the older side, and he took a massive beating, I believe, against Guillermo Jones that he came back from. So, but he's still a problem for anybody. This is the guy that slept the shit out of Roy Jones Jr. You got the young fighter. I don't know how to pronounce his first name. Bo knows because the nigga's Cuban, but his last name is Dororicos. That dude is nice. You know what I'm saying? Very, very good fighter. You got Bradis. I think he's from Germany. He's a good fighter, cruiserweight as well. You got a lot of guys, man, that fights can be made. Marco Huck is still there. You know, he's still in contention. He was supposed to be fighting Oval McKenzie, a British guy, but Oval McKenzie recently pulled out of that fight. So, I mean, there's a lot of fights to be made at cruiserweight with Usyk coming up and being that motherfucking dude now. With only 10 fights under his belt, it really shakes up the division. So I can't wait to see what happens there, man.
Oh, yeah.
Next! Alright. Now this one we both gonna do. Now this one was, I made a post, man, and, you know, some people, majority, I say 90% of people agreed. You got your couple of people that just don't understand boxing to the fullest degree.
Okay.
And then you got motherfuckers that just hate, you know what I'm saying? I said Canelo versus Liam Smith was the easiest fight that I've called this year. And that includes Amir Khan, which me and Seth were right about. Yep. And that includes Kell Brook and Triple G. And we were right about that one as well. But and to be honest with you, we've only missed like 2 or 3 fights this entire year. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, but this fight was the easiest to call for me. And the reason being is because Liam Smith, to me, it was very evident early on that he fights like an amateur. All right. Yeah. And in the prediction video, I go into detail about why Canelo is going to easily beat Liam Smith. Okay. Yeah. One of the biggest reasons was because Liam Smith does not have any upper body movement. He doesn't have any lateral movement, no head movement, and he stays behind a guard like this. Okay. Yeah. Further, and the best thing, not the best thing, but the most negative thing for him that plays directly in Canelo's favor is that he stays directly in front of you. Oh, yeah. He's coming forward. He's like this, directly in front of you, bro. Like, literally. Yeah. So all Canelo's going to have to do is just step back and counter this motherfucker with uppercuts. Bro, I seen Canelo leading with uppercuts. I seen a stretch where Canelo threw 5 straight uppercuts. He was like, I was like, you kidding me? Now, like, only 3 of them landed, but the point is, Liam Smith is so much of an amateur compared to Canelo that he couldn't even capitalize on the mistake that Canelo was making. You never, ever, 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 boxing 101, people, you never do multiple lead shots, nigga. You don't never do that without bringing your hand back. If you gonna stand there and shoot your lead hand, you better follow up with that bitch with your weak, or you better bring that motherfucker directly back. You understand what I'm saying? This motherfucker, and leaving it out there like this. And he couldn't capitalize on it, B. Another thing, I seen the same straight right hand. I won't break it down too much because I want you to do it. But the same straight right hand that Liam Smith murdered Allen Iverson's college basketball coach with in his last fight. Yeah. I mean, he completely hit the motherfucker. And John Thompson went back on the ropes. Oh, yeah. And directly like this. There we go. Yeah. He hit Canelo with the same punch. This is exactly what it looked like. It slid off his face, B. Bruh, he probably didn't even turn the punch, bruh, when he threw it. He probably didn't even turn it. He probably didn't have full extension on it. You know what I'm saying? He's an amateur. And I'm telling cats before the fight, I'm like, yo, Liam Smith has nothing for Canelo because he still makes way too many amateurish mistakes. Now, again, like I said in the pre-fight prediction video, I said I'm not a huge fan of Canelo's skills. But in talking about this fight, it is so much of a mismatch that it may seem like I am a big-time Canelo fan, B. But I'm not. I think Canelo loses to 4 guys at 154 right now. You know what I'm saying? But Liam Smith is so much, his mistakes are so amateurish that if you bring those type of mistakes into the ring against a guy that has fought the likes of Floyd Mayweather, Austin Trout, Miguel Cotto, Erislandy Lara, he's bound to get exposed and get exposed very easily. You understand what I'm saying? Now, my prediction was Canelo was going to knock him out in the 8th round. That was my prediction. He knocked him out in the 9th round. That's the only thing I was wrong about. But he could have damn well finished him in the 8th round. He dropped him in the 7th, dropped him again, or hurt him real bad in the 8th, and then finished him in the 9th. He could have definitely got him out of there in 8. I feel like he carried him. He took his foot off the gas. He was getting rounds in. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was fucking obvious, bro. Like, go ahead, man. Break it down, man. What do you think of this fight, man? The easiest fight to call of 2016. What'd you think?
Oh yeah, definitely that. It's not too much I can really say, 2K. I mean, I definitely agree with you. I was there at the fight, so I'll definitely say that Canelo possibly did carry Liam Smith to give the fans more of a show. There were 51,000 screaming people. I mean, I've never seen it before. It was just insane. Also, my bad. Let me say this before I get into the breakdown. Had I not noticed this cat, a little bit earlier, I would have definitely got on his ass. Oh, yeah. But I seen Doug Fisher, and I believe he was walking with Steve Kim. Oh. And I didn't notice. I noticed Doug Fisher, but I didn't notice Steve Kim until the last possible second. They were all the way down the hall, and I wanted to turn around and go say something, but I was like, nah, let me not do that. But anyway, but yeah, I got y'all ass next time. But anyway, so, but like you said, man, very easy fight to call. We both knew that Liam Smith had no chance for all the reasons that you stated in your breakdown. I didn't put too much stock into his KO victories. I think he was on an 8-fight knockout streak or 8-fight knockout TKO streak or something like that.
C and F level fighters, yes.
Exactly. So there was no stock going into that because I knew that Canelo was just a different breed. He's on a different level compared to a guy like Liam Smith, And that's not to really shit on Liam Smith's style or what he's done, but you have to be at a particular level to get in there and go head up with a fighter like Canelo Alvarez. You know what I mean? Now, this is where me and you may differ just a tad. I like Canelo's skill set. You know, I think he has a very, very, very solid skill set. Now, that skill set is better equipped to fight certain type of fighter.
Absolutely.
So I definitely agree when you say 4 dudes at 154 beat him and probably beat him pretty good, you know. But for this particular fight, his skill set is more than equipped to deal with what Liam Smith was going to show him. The only thing I liked that Liam Smith was doing was, and I've seen J-Rock do this a couple of times, and that's swipe one of the hands down and then come over the top, or I'm sorry, come from the front, come from the side with the right hook.
Yeah.
I like that punch. I like that tactic, but like you said, Canelo was not bothered by it whatsoever.
Absolutely not.
What I thought that Liam Smith was going to have to do was he was going to have to get Canelo up against the ropes and let his hands go. Or he was gonna have to let his hands go in general, you know, because Canelo's a guy that I'm not gonna say that he doesn't take punches well, but he visibly reacts to punches. You know, I could see against Floyd Mayweather, he was visibly reacting to some of the shots that Mayweather was hitting him with, as well as Erislandy Lara and Austin Trout. He doesn't have a real good poker face. So you can visibly see him get frustrated. But in this fight, because Liam Smith, especially when he started to eat some of Canelo's shots, he wasn't letting his hands go. There were a few times where Canelo was on the ropes in the high guard, and Liam Smith was standing right in front of him, kind of like, you know, okay, what you gonna do? Nah, what you gonna do? What you gonna, you know? So I knew that Canelo was gonna stop him. The body work from Canelo was beautiful. It was some very, very, very solid, very good body work, great body shots. The way that I was able to tell that Canelo was not worried about Smith was when he came out in the first round, and everything he threw, the first 2 rounds, nothing but power punches. I mean, he was hitting. It's a bit different when you're there, and we've both been to fights before, 2K, but with this particular fight, I could see that Canelo's power, and I've never been just huge on his power, but I could see that Liam Smith was not used to getting hit as hard as he was getting hit by Canelo.
Absolutely.
You could just tell in his body language. You could tell in how he was a little reluctant to let his hands go when he had the opportunities. So I knew that you know, that was really going to be fight changing. And I, just like you, I didn't expect him to make it past 9 rounds. Yeah. You know, anywhere from 1 to 9 would have definitely been feasible. I mean, it was a completely different skill set. Oh. So, like you said, man, I agree with everything. There's nothing that I could really disagree with. Yeah. You know, the only thing I say is being there made me understand and made me see what type of a star Canelo is when it comes to his people. Yeah. You know, I mean, this dude is probably like a mega star. You know, the only thing I didn't see was a lifelike pinata of Canelo. You know, that would have just been the icing on the cake. You know what I mean? But I mean, my goodness, his fans are definitely insane. Definitely a good fight for what it was, for the guy that was in front of him. You know, Canelo was able to showcase his hand speed, his combinations, and his power. So, good fight for what it was.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like I said, man, one of the biggest things that I had mentioned, I had said that, you know, when you look at a fighter who's fought nothing but C, D, and F level fighters so far in his career, you can easily come to a conclusion based on the tendencies that he has in the ring that, he will be able to transfer his abilities to the A level and B level fighters of boxing, of his division. You can easily say that. A perfect example is how I picked Andre Ward prior to the Super 6 tournament to win it all. Yeah. While everybody else was picking Mikkel Kessler, I picked Andre Ward. Now, my wife is not out here, but if she was, she would tell y'all motherfuckers I'm not lying. You know what I'm saying? So, another example is I picked Oleksandr Usyk to beat Glowacki, even though he's only fought C, D, and F level. I don't even think he's fought C level fighters, actually, in 9 fights. And the reason why I did that is because his skill set, it looked like he would be able to transfer that to the elite level of the cruiserweight division. Okay? But just as easy as it is to make that conclusion in a positive light for a fighter, it's just as easy to make the conclusion in a negative light for the fighter. It's easy to look at him and say, he will not be able to transfer that shit to the next level in that division. And that is the category that Liam Smith falls into. When I watched him fight against John Thompson and other fights that are available, when I watched his training videos, him hitting the pads, him training with Kell Brook, I was thoroughly unimpressed with the mistakes that I seen. I was thoroughly, with the pads, for example, I was thoroughly unimpressed at how he was not turning his punches. That shit slides with C, D, and F level fighters. You can knock them motherfuckers out without fully turning your punch, without having perfect technique on a shot. But when you're fucking with the better fighters of the division, and I don't even want to call Canelo an A-level fighter, but Canelo has A-level experience. When you fight a guy that has A-level experience, that has fought guys and been hit by guys that know how to properly place a fucking punch, you're in trouble because you have not gotten the experience needed to correct those mistakes before you go into a fight with such a fighter. That's what I saw leading into this fight. Therefore, it was easy for me to say Liam Smith has zero chance. Bro, this is probably the first fight in a long time where I said a fighter has zero chance, because usually you give him a 1% chance, and that's a puncher's chance. I gave him 0% chance because, let me just say this, not zero, I gave him less than 1% because Canelo's underrated attribute is his beard. That nigga's got a chin, bro.
Yeah, he does.
I've only seen Canelo hurt twice in his career. Once against Miguel Cotto's older brother, very long time ago, and Floyd Mayweather. Those are the only 2 fights I've seen him hurt in, bro. And in the Mayweather fight, it wasn't like the nigga was staggering or nothing. It just looked, you could see one of the counter right hands that Floyd gave him. He stopped that motherfucker. Canelo was like, oh shit, hold up, nigga. Had to shake it off. And then that's when Mayweather proceeded to pressure Canelo because he saw that he had hurt him. Against a guy that can't properly place his punch, I knew he wasn't going to hurt Canelo. I knew he wasn't going to hurt him, B. Under 1% chance. Now, the reason why it was an easier fight to call than Golovkin, Khan, Canelo is because those guys have the experience to possibly, just possibly, slightly edge their opponents, even though they were much smaller. And we've seen it in the Khan-Canelo fight. Amir Khan was winning all the rounds except one. You know what I'm saying? I believe he got knocked out in the 6th round. I had him winning 5 rounds to 1. He was thoroughly outboxing Canelo. That's one of the variables that we seen prior that we thought was a slight chance, but we knew it was a chance that it could happen, and it did. Against Triple G, we saw that Kell Brook might just, he might just keep the fight in the middle of the ring and get inside Golovkin's chest because he doesn't have great lateral movement. So we were like, we think the type of fighter that beats Golovkin is an inside fighter, a guy that will smother his punches. that would not allow him full extension on his punches at mid-range distance. Kell Brook was doing that. I had that fight a draw at the time of the stoppage. A lot of people had the fight 3 rounds to 1. Shit, Gennady Golovkin had the fight himself 3 rounds to 1 for Kell Brook. Okay, again, there was a slight chance prior to that fight that Kell Brook just might have a shot, and we seen it in the fight. Just so happens that both these guys got knocked out. Before the Liam Smith-Canelo fight, there was no slight chance. That's why it was the easiest fight to call, and it played out almost to the T how we had seen it playing out, man. You got anything else to add, B?
Nah, man. That's it.
All right, YouTube, let us know what you think of these fight breakdowns. Who did you pick? Did you have Liam Smith winning by knockout? Or did you or did you actually have the fight the way that it played out, man? Let us know what you think about all the fights. Do what you do in the comment section. Be real. This is Real Talk for Real Fans. 1.